Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Not Amuse Championship for race 7 of 9 from the Autopolis Autodrome racetrack, large thingy. A quick look at the current championship standings as joining us on commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm not too bad. How's yourself?
I'm alright, thank you, apart from a bit tied up with SGP at the moment in second place.
So yeah.
You were probably. I bet you're. What the hell is he going on about here? But either way, Jason leading the way. He's got a fantastic chance of getting a championship. This race could be critical towards that with a 19-point lead. With Demon R though on pole position, just one place ahead of Jason in second.
Is that not 2 weeks in a row Demon has been on pole position? As we see Steve F1 on third, and then SGP with a shiny new car.
Yeah.
Has he washed it?
I think he has, yeah.
Fourth, then we've got Autopolis fifth.
Conrad sitting there in 6th place, just ahead of Twilight in 7th. Twilight missing last week's race, but he's back today. And then we've got Bob in 8th place, and right behind him, we've got Jimmy Buffet in 9th.
We've got Mad Lucy Lemon Gary 10th, and then 11th we've got the Rum Boy Richie Blues.
That we have, and I've left my audio on again, so I'll click that down. We're at 5 lights, and away David R's gone early. I'm guessing that was a jump start. But he's holding. Steve F1's got a bit of a run looking at the pack cam down in towards turn 1. I think Jason got sideways at the start. He's dropped down, tags the back of Steve F1. SGP coming in. Conrad's gone wide. Oh no, he's in the gravel.
What's just happened?
A lot. Okay, so Jason has dropped down to 4th. SGP and Steve F1 still battling. Steve F1 manages to just get ahead. Demon R pulling away early. So even though with a jump start has managed to get an advantage, not because of the jump start, but whoa, SGP! We're going to see quite a lot of that, I reckon, out of the little hairpin there.
Yeah, especially we've got Jimmy this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, around a tricky long left-hander, which looks very easy, but it isn't. Then we're up to an evil off-cambered hairpin. The breaking point actually quite early here. And so Arpal's gone a little deep. Tagged the back of Jason, who tags the back of SGP.
I think they'll all just keep out okay there. They're all still going in a straight line, so
that they are.
Not much foul there. Just a wee bit of love.
Now we're down into James, double right-hand corner, very quick, but not flat out as on the pack cam. Jimmy closing it. Oh, Rich Blues just got sideways on the curb on the pack cam. So Arpal still harassing Jason. It looks like Jason's done a bit of work on his livery. I'm sure there's more detail on it this week than there was last week. And then we have a look at the Googly Eye Bridge. And you've got googly eyes on both sides of the bridge as well.
What was it? I don't want.
Use your eyeballs, you little look. Yeah.
They're on the bridge.
Well, that is true. Okay, and then in the final few corners, it looks such a simple section. Long right-hander, little kink, and onto the straight. But it's actually very punishing on the car and the tyres, and we may see cars sideways. We may see cars off. Oh, go on.
It was sticking. He was just sticking out there just to let everybody, Steve F1 know. I can't get my words out today as Jimmy's on the gravel there. He was letting Steve F1 know he was there still. Just filling up his mirrors.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think Jimmy was 3 wide. Gary's going deep, going off. Oh, Bob slots in. Gary's still on the track. He's still, oh no. Oh, Gary's, ran a bit deep, pushed Bob into Rich. Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah. And just a wee bit of calming down needs there.
Absolutely.
The first part was his braking and plenty missed it, and then second part just needed to calm down a wee bit. wait for the opportunity a wee bit better there.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. If you've gone in a bit hot into a corner, as Gary did, the tyres are going to be hot, the brakes are going to be hot, the grip's not going to be there. Trying up the inside on Bob now, side by side they go. They managed to give each other room. Bob's got the inside though down into James. This is a track where the corners. Oh, Bob going!
Oops.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, on the truck. Sorry,
it looked like Gary was going for a move on Twilight, and Bob was going for a move on Gary. And just kind of Cosentino's effect up, and Gary just saves that there.
Does he save it here though? Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, Jimmy! That's the thing about that corner. There's like 3 or 4 different lines into it, but you all meet at one point.
Absolutely, and you definitely don't want to be going into it too hot. I was going to say, on the track map, these corners look fairly simple. Like turn 1, it's a fairly simple 90-degree corner, but it really isn't. It's a downhill braking zone. It's very tricky, and if you get your exit wrong, you're going to spin. The second sector, again, it looks fairly simple, but it really isn't. As we've got a lot of battling going on behind Autopal on the pack out. Twilight's gone straight on. Autopal's gone deep. Gary's on the charge. He's making the move. And we're looking at Jason, who's closing up to the back of SGP. So Autopal's fallen away from these guys, all into the clutches of the pack. SGP definitely coming under attack here.
Yeah, Jimmy nearly getting the move on Autopal defending the inside of the double right-hand corner. Jimmy went a bit deep there. I think he just tagged the back of Gary, or I tried to avoid, and that just sent him a wee bit wide. As we see Autopal and Gary side by side. Is Jimmy going to throw his nose in, or is he going to just hold back and wait? Now, Autopal's going to be wide there. Gary's got to hold in inside line, but he's ahead at the minute, so yeah, that corner, it's quite a tricky one when you're side by side.
Gary's not stopping for the hairpin. He just keeps 2 wheels on the road, but he's lost all those positions. Oh, Twilight! I don't know exactly what happened. Oh, is Bob stationary? I think he is.
Yeah, Bob was on the inside of Twilight when they were going round that corner, and I think that way when the cars connect, and no matter what, unless Bob fully stops, it just keeps pushing Twilight round, so I think that's what happened to Twilight there.
Fair enough. Okay, SGP sideways again, although he's closer to the back of Steve F1 on this occasion. Jason actually having a look. Got a tighter line through the penultimate corner. I mean, one of the things I will say about this track is if you do get off the racing line in the corners, the grip is simply not there. This is definitely a rhythm track, not a rave track. Okay, Conrad recovering, coming past Autopal now. Conrad, Jimmy, I think he's going a bit defensive there, don't you?
Yeah, you've been listening to Entrance?
No. Ed Dubs.
Rhythm is a dancer.
Oh, 3 wide. This could be a little tricky as we head down into a little 90-degree right-hander, but it's a horrible little braking zone, this. Gary's gone straight on again. He can't quite get his braking right for that corner. It's cost him the 2 positions. See, that's what he'd be.
Rich. Rich. It's like he looked and then went, he must have lost the back end there, Rich did.
Yeah. Well, I've heard of a Scandinavian flick. I think that was a Jamaican flick. Okay, Autopal got the tight line through this long left hand. This long left hander is, I'm going to say it a few times, it looks a simple corner. It really isn't. It's one, if you go into it full throttle, you are coming off that throttle and probably even having to get on the brakes. If you dab a brake early and you slow it down early and you let it cruise into the corner, you can come out of it so quick. And that's what a lot of the corners are like around here. Get the car slowed down and then you'll get a good exit. If you slow it down late, you're not going to get a good exit. Jason having a look up the inside of SGP into these final few corners. This is where SGP could get compromised. He's holding the tight line though. He doesn't want Jason going up the inside. We'll see if they go for different lines through the final 3 corners. SGP's gone a little wide.
Yeah, it looked like Demon R had broken away a wee Yeah, as he's broken a bit more away. These three must have been fighting in Sector 1 and 2, and now that's like Demon R have a breather, and then when Jason and SGP were fighting, it gave Steve F1 a breather, but now, because Jason was kind of compromised in that last sector, SGP's got a wee bit of a gap, so
exactly, yeah.
it's like, when do you pick your battle?
Absolutely. Yep, Gary and Autopolis side by side. Rich having a look at the grass, thinks better of it, thankfully. Conrad trying to make the move on Jimmy. Jimmy looking for a switchback, but he got a tank slapper on instead. Gary is ahead of Autopolis here as the pack cam looks like it's going on boards for the front view. Jimmy up the inside. Conrad, Gary's gone deep again. I think he's okay this time. Yeah, he is. So he's getting a little bit better there. Jimmy fending off Conrad at the moment. Doesn't cover the... Oh, he does cover the inside. A little late. Could do with the camera being on a little further up there. But, I didn't mean that much further up.
Yeah, I think Jason he's got a run on SGP. I was watching Pack Cam, and it looked like he had a better exit. He's going...
Oh! Yeah, well, he's definitely going to go for it. SGP's got his braking all wrong there. You know what? I think he might have had his eyeballs in the mirror. One of those where you're looking at where the car is behind you, and then when you look forwards again, you realise you've missed your braking point, because that went straight on. Jimmy's broken away a little bit from Conrad as they make their way down to James Autopolis and Conrad side by side. Can be done, but it will compromise you. Autopolis dipping a wheel, Connor giving him plenty of space, and Connor gets ahead. This is where now, if you're Autopolis, you stand 2 wheels off the track, be careful. Cover the inside, defend from Rich Blues, because you may just run a little bit wide. He is trying to cover that inside. Rich Blues is nearly there, but not nearly enough.
Yeah, and a great battle from Conrad and Autopolis. We've seen them two quite a lot in the past couple of races, battling with each other.
Absolutely. I think Jimmy's gone a little bit wide through this long right-hander. Yeah, he has. He's compromised him. Connor's got a much better exit. He'll get a much better run down into turn 1. Yeah, I mean... It's such an off-camber corner, the penultimate corner, because the kink is the final corner, really. But
Jimmy's only sitting halfway in the middle of the road, so it's like...
Oh, Rich! Wow, Rich Blues! Oh, share the rum, bum, bum, bum. Wow, yeah, I think I think you might have got that one a little bit wrong. As Jimmy's...
looking for a wee move on Autopolis into that corner. He's trying to keep it tight, you can tell.
Yep. Oh, he's had a moment as well, gone a bit sideways. So I think Rich did wait for Conrad. I mean, Jimmy's gone very deep, and here's Bob up the inside. I think that's all fair there. Bob looked like he was on the apex. It was okay there, but yeah, I mean, I don't know whether Rich missed his braking point and was trying to take evasive, or if he was going for the move. But yeah, he definitely made contact with Jimmy, pushing him into Conrad, and Connor off wide.
Conrad's still there.
Yeah, he's recovered pretty well. Oh, a little deep into the hairpin though. Not as deep as SGP went, but yeah, perhaps with some hot and dirty tyres. Bob's going to have a look up the inside. Jimmy kind of was covering middle of the road. Yeah, he's kind of half covering. Is there, Jimmy? Oh.
Sideways, Jimmy's.
Yep.
It wouldn't be Jimmy if it wasn't sideways.
That is absolutely true. Okay, Bob.
I wonder what he says to his partner. How do you want it today?
Sideways.
Sideways.
Backwards. Okay, Rich Blues and Twilight side by side through the Ice Bridge. A little tight line for Rich Blues. Conrad capitalising. This is where, if I was Conrad, I'd be on the brakes early, get it slowed down. Jimmy's gone well wide.
Yeah.
He's got the move on Bob. I think he's got a move on Bob, or he's stayed ahead of Bob, I'm not sure. But it's definitely compromised them big time. Was now 3 wide.
The Conrad's going to make it 4 wide.
5 wide?
No, Twilight. Come on, Twilight. Who's going to start?
Oh, you know what? That's good. That nicely done. Everybody gets it controlled and around the corner. Conrad trying to poke his nose up the inside of Bob. Let's see if Gary's not here at the moment. I was going to see if Gary got his braking right for this corner on this occasion. Conrad could do a little switch back here. Tuck under. Oh, Jimmy's gone wide. Conrad sneaks through. Cover the inside. Twilight making the move on Rich Blues. Oh!
Bob kind of went deep there, and Conrad seen a gap and went for it.
Yeah, Jimmy saw the gap and helped Conrad get into it. So a lot of changes going on. This is allowing our pal to break away a little bit, but I think Conrad will have the pace to close that gap. Let's see how everyone gets on at the hairpin, though. Bob's going for it in the hairpin. Twilight going for it on Jimmy. Jimmy may not have realised he was there. Bit of contact. I think Twilight's making sure Jimmy is ahead of him now. He's definitely seen him now.
Yeah. Oh. Do we see Gary catching up with the back of the pack there?
I've just seen on the pack cam, Jason is all over the back of Steve F1. There it is as well.
Yep. Here we go. Let's see the different lines they take at the last corner, penultimate corner. Jason's taking a tighter line.
Well, he's doing that definitely to try and put Steve F1 off. It's not a line you would naturally take. It looks like Jason is definitely trying to get Steve F1. Looking in his mirrors, SGP.
Look how far back SGP went after that off at the camper hairpin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the pack hasn't caught him yet, but yeah, he's definitely big time from the front three. Conrad got a bit of a run on Bob, and Jimmy got a bit of a run on Conrad. Not the best camera angle here. Oh, Jimmy's got nowhere to go.
Conrad's going for a move on Bob on the inside. He gets the power down early enough and keeps to that. For this corner, stays to the inside. He had it anyway because Bob went a wee bit deep. But yeah, but now he has to watch because we'll get Jimmy and Rich coming in. Conrad not defending that at all. He's just taking off the racing line.
Yep. On this occasion, that's the thing. Sometimes you do have to just not defend and go for the racing line, but it all depends on how close the car is behind you. Oh, a few cars going a little bit deep there.
It's like Jimmy gets sped up in the middle of the corner. It's like he sped up too much. I went, shit, I'm not stopping, and understeer kicked in.
Okay, up to the hairpin once again. Let's see. Oh, I think. Whoa! Connor just like back. Where? What on earth happened there? Well, Conrad was ahead of Jimmy.
Bob.
No, it was Jimmy. Yeah, and then all of a sudden he was ghosted behind them. Huh?
Is that a problem?
I don't know. Okay.
Let's see him on a timing tower. Don't know. I'm trying to see if I can see him in the pack cam, but it's too small.
I think he's still there on the pack cam. Jason's got Steve F1 looking in those mirrors once again. I think he's got him. Steve F1 running slightly offline in the final corners. Is Jason going to go for it up the inside? He's got to run. He's got to go for it, hasn't he? He seems to have the pace at the minute. Here we go then, up the inside. Can he get it slowed down? Because Steve F1 do a switch back. Oh, chaos on the pack cam. There's a big crash going on at the final corners. Oh, there's cars everywhere. Oh, disaster.
Twilight.
I don't know exactly what happened there. I think I caught it halfway through. Maybe that's something we'll have to have a look at that on the G-Spot next week, Raymond.
Yeah. Did we miss overtake then by Jason?
Well, I think we might. Well, I think Jason had kind of just got it done. Steve F1 didn't get the switch back going. But then, you know what? For Steve F1, I mean, he's had a chance at trying to catch up Demon R. Hasn't worked. Maybe he's thinking, you know what? I'm okay with Jason going ahead.
Sideways.
Yep. See if
that crash is helping out up.
It is, isn't it? Well, Good.
No.
You go. To you.
I had a bubble in my throat.
Okay. I've got to stop. I've got a lump in my throat.
That was bubbles.
Oh yeah, blowing bubble. Yeah, so if Steve F1 is thinking, you know what, Jason's quick at the moment, I can follow him, see if he can catch Demon R. Demon R's lap times, he's had one in the 204s, the rest have been in the 203s. He's not really been challenged since the start of the race, and we're almost halfway through. So it'd be interesting to see how the race pans out now. The current championship leader is hunting him down. Jimmy...
Looks like he's getting close as well.
Oh, Jimmy! Whoa, see your eyeballs, Jimmy. Well, yeah, so now I'm pretty sure...
Jimmy's like, nothing to see here. The eyeballs in the fridge are like... Seen it.
Yeah, it'd be good if the eyeballs were like the Vegas Spear, where it looked at the cars going past. But yes, okay. So
I'd put you off.
It would, wouldn't it?
People could. You'd be too busy looking at the eyes.
Okay, Bob up alongside Jimmy, down towards turn 1. Conrad closing in. These two closing in on Art Pal. Jimmy tried the switch back, but he's got a slippery rear end. He's got it going, though.
He's got it going. Art Pal's slow.
Yeah, I think Art Pal may have had a compromised corner exit 3 wide. Or if you're in Conrad's position here, you could easily put your nose in trouble. Play it safe. I'd be looking at the switchback here into the hairpin. I think he's trying that with a wider line. So is Jimmy. Bob's covered Conrad off though. Jimmy, no surprise, is sideways. Rich Blues is closing in. Look at the pack cam as well.
They've caught up with Demon R. So
yeah.
Yeah. He's got some work to do now.
Yeah, well, Demon R's lap times are in the 203s, but Jason's were 203 quickers. That's
got a fight going on. Especially after the last couple of laps, that Jason's kind of seemed as if he was struggling, wasn't it?
Yeah, the last couple of races. Yeah, I mean, Demon R's won the last 2 races. Jason's definitely been battling it out in the pack a bit more. Jimmy all over the back of Art Pal, and we'll keep an eye on that pack cam, obviously, for what's happening with the leading 3 at the moment. Conrad up alongside Bob into the slow double right-handers, and now we're having a look at... Oh, Jason's close enough. Is he close? He's close enough for an attack, isn't he? Down into 1. Is Demon R going to defend?
I don't know, maybe just that little bit. Yeah. No, he's going for it.
Oh, he's not close enough though. Interesting. I mean, maybe he's just trying to size up Demon R at the moment. Jason seems to be driving differently in this championship, doesn't he? Okay, Bob, Jimmy, Conrad, almost 3 wide. A little bump draft in for Jimmy there as Bob. Can he get it slowed down? He can just about. Jimmy gets around the corner without going sideways. Conrad and Bob now side by side. And here comes Rich Blues. Rich blows. No, Rich doesn't blow. He blows. Okay.
I was looking at famous Swedish people that they could get a quote from Jason would have been saying, but unless it's something for ABBA.
Well, I think the most famous quote is, "We make it cheaper for the people by making them build it themselves."
Gretna Thunberg, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
He's coming to save his championship.
Yeah. It's not you who'll have to fix it. It is me. I know she's not like Chinese, but there you go. Bob dipping a wheel. Jason, interestingly, looking at the pack cam, Jason is closing up on Demon R in the slow double right-hander before the eyeball bridge. Now, if you remember last week's race, we mentioned that Jason was quick around the whole lap, apart from the final corner, and Demon R had to run then on the fast part. I wonder if it's a similar case here where Jason may be quick around a lot of the course. So it's this double right-hander that he's catching it up. Oh, Jimmy sideways. That could compromise him. Because now, though, you look at the pack cam, Demon R's broken away again. So I'm wondering if there's perhaps Demon R's focusing on one corner to rule them all.
Yeah, sort of. Just
Stop looking at Swedish things. Go on.
Det är mitt mästerskap.
Tits are mitts. Oh, we're 3 wide.
Championship.
You should Google. It's in the bag. It's in the IKEA bag. Sorry, Jason. Okay, so yeah, looking at the pack cam now, the gap between Demon R and Jason, there's a bit of a gap. The gap between Bob and Jimmy and Conrad is very close, and Rich Blues. Gary, I think, and Twilight are way back at the moment, as these guys are battling through the slow infield section into the horrible little right-hander. Jason closing in at the hairpin. See if Demon R opens that gap upon the exit. Yes, he does. Obviously, there's a bit of a concertina effect there as cars slow down and speed up.
Yeah. Conrad and Bob in side by side for a few since the hairpin, actually. So let's see how they get on up to the camber there.
Which... You know what? That's actually not hurt Bob. Luckily, as the pack
saved them a wee bit.
It did, didn't it? And actually, yeah. I mean, okay, it's not let Bob get ahead of Conrad, but it has helped him. Okay, pack cam is on Jason's bonnet as they're heading into the final couple of corners. I mentioned about concertina. I used to date a musician called Concertina. Her name was Tina. She did concerts.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I made that one up. I think that was a pretty good joke, considering I just made that up. Jimmy's offline. He's out of shape. The eyeballs are looking. They're staring down on his Barbie. Oh, that sounds like a bit of a euphemism. That I didn't mean to be.
What's the? He's got a couple of cats, a bird, and Barbie.
Yeah, and a frog on the back.
What's the connection?
It's the birds and the bees, but it's the birds and the cats. Okay, down into turn 1 we go. Oh yeah, yeah, could be. Conrad making the move. Jimmy with a switchback, of Rooney, and he's got a move on Autopolis.
What a move!
Yeah, Conrad
can
now.
He hold it here though.
Oh, I think he can.
Autopolis been caught napping or something.
He might. Maybe he's just had a bad first corner. I mean,
he's had a 206 and then last two were 204s. This one was a high 204, so I might lack a concentration.
Quite possibly. Either that, yeah. I mean, maybe he's just getting his braking slightly wrong at the turn 1. On the pack cam, Jason still hunting down Demon R. I mean, as far as the championship goes, Demon R needs the victory here. Jason closing in, though, heading up towards the slow double right-handers as the main field here, side by side in the hairpin. Oh, Jimmy!
Jimmy's going around outside. He's got the inside for these double righters unless Autopolis can get ahead.
Which he can't.
Yeah, he wouldn't have enough time to defend because it would be in the braking zone by the time he would have to move over, and it's kind of a bit dangerous and sportsman-like to do that.
Absolutely. Okay, Jason's dropped back a little bit onto the main straight once again. Autopolis. See, this is where Jimmy's been struggling a little bit, getting a little bit wobbly. Autopolis got a much better line there through that corner. So was Conrad on Bob. See, Conrad going to go for the switchback tuck in. Yeah, tuck in. Autopolis tucking in. And see if Jimmy. Oh, Autopolis doing a Jimmy. He's channeled. He's in a Jimmy. And look at the gap that's given Jimmy.
Yeah, Jason kind of getting a wee bit more closer to Demon R now.
That he is.
There he is. He's on his backside. Needs to start fighting. That's going to allow Steve F1.
Well, interesting. I mean, Demon R's lap times, he's actually done a 2028.
That must have been where the gap came from.
On the previous lap,
yeah.
Well, a couple of laps ago. So Demon R's not exactly going slow here, which would suggest Jason is going quick, but there definitely is parts of the track where Jason is closing up and Demon R is opening the gap. Steve F1 is still there or thereabouts. SGP is kind of in no man's land at the moment. On the pack cam, we've still got this fantastic battle going on. Bob, Conrad, Artpal, Jimmy's in fifth, a little way ahead of them. We might see now just how far ahead. Yeah, there he is. Jimmy in fifth.
Conrad.
Did I say Conrad? Well, he's a barbarian.
That's only if you poke him.
Well, yeah, that's true, yeah. Okay, Connor with a little nudge up Bob's arse end there. I'm sure Bob won't mind. Art Power and Conrad now side by side into James, the leading trio, headed into the long right-hander that is the penultimate corner. Oh, you know what? Breaking news for my co-commentator Raymond. Artpal has got to run on Bob up the inside through the double right-handers. Got to be careful though, because you can get pinched. Conrad's got to run on Rich Blues as well. Bob makes the move, or keeps the position, either way, whichever it was.
Conrad got a better line from Artpal, so
that he has.
Into this turn, it's how do they do coming out? They're side by side. Got to give that room. Just make sure you don't go for that apex, Conrad. Nicely done. Yep. Now who's got a better run? Now Artpal's left out to dry there.
Yeah. Oh, Connor's gone to the left side. He's on the pit exit. He's yeah. Oh, couldn't quite see it.
Yeah, I don't think there was room for Conrad to go anywhere.
No, I mean, I just saw it on the pack cam. He sort of went into the pit exit area, and unfortunately, that bit is into grass. Okay, Jason. Oh, Rich Blue's got a bit deep on the pack cam.
Jason won a 202 as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Same lap.
Wow.
Did it.
Yeah. So you know what that means then? Jason was picking up the pace and Demon R was trying to follow him. Jason is really on a charge now, though, isn't he? I mean, we've not seen Demon R going defensive. But Jason has definitely closed the gap in. It would appear he is the faster... I can't believe I'm saying this. It would appear he is the faster driver. Oh, my heart breaks. Breaking news.
Free wide.
2 wide, 1 wide, 2 by 2. Oh, look at the pack cam. Jason through the corner I mentioned that he was closing in on earlier. Jason is now definitely in the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we do change to the leaders at some point. But there is a lot of action. Yeah, there we go. Into the penultimate corner. There is a lot going on at the pack cam.
He's cut the apex. Has he got a better run now? Demon R was a little bit tighter than what Jason was. So could we see Jason with a run? Demon R's not moving over towards the pit wall anytime soon.
No. Isn't it ironic how we change cameras and then we commentate about what's happening on the pack cam? It's Rich Blue deep into the corner. Jason's deep into the corner as well. Oh, you know, that may be the one error that costs him an opportunity to win the race. A gap opens up and here comes Steve F1, Conrad all over the back of Bob out the final corner. Oh, yeah, I wonder if that was Jason, like, sort of questioning himself of, should I go for it, should I not go for it, decided not to go for it, and then just got caught out under braking, perhaps going a little faster than previous as Conrad making a move on the back, and Bob with a switchback. Where's that come from, Bob?
I've never seen it.
Oh, I did. How was a beaut?
He's going for Jimmy. He's going for Jimmy. He's sending it in there.
Oh, it doesn't, Jimmy. Guess if it's sideways. I tell you, that was a beautiful move at turn 1. I don't know if that one was as beautiful, but proper going for it.
Oh, Jimmy's going for it.
He
done well to get that stop and kept. I think the apex actually caught the tyre and helped him round the corner.
Quite possibly. Oh, Demon R's wide!
Demon R's wide!
Oh, well, you know what? Where he has just gone wide, I have seen cars go wide before and spin. He hasn't, but Jason's last 3 laps were a 2:03.1, 0.0 and a 0.1. This one might be a little slower, but Jason's error has just been sort of helped by Demon R's error. Oh, and Jason's back in it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
We'll get to the breaking news soon because there's just too much going on.
Who's got the better run? Let's see. I think it's Jason.
I think you might be right. I won't be surprised if Demon R still got slightly dirty tyres, though. Is Jason going to go for it? Is Demon R going to go defensive? Neither. They're holding position. I think both of them just trying to get the tyres back in, with them both having made mistakes. Steve F1 is definitely closing in on them. This is 100% not over. Jason's lap time was a 2:03.5, so he lost nearly half a second with his dip in a wheel, but he's all over the back of Demon R. He's on the pack cam. Autopolis is all over the back of Bob. They're crossing the start-finish line now into the hairpin. Jason taking a wider entry. It's not the normal entry, but it can give you a different exit. Autopolis side by side with Bob as these three headed to the long left-hander. Jimmy, Autopolis and Bob touch. Jimmy's there. Bob's off. Autopolis slowing down. Okay. Yeah.
I thought Gary was going to tag him now.
Okay, so Jason still behind Demon R then as they make it easy. He's going for it! Oh my days! Through he goes! Pops a finger out the window to say, were you sleeping? Because I'm going for first.
What was it? The index finger or the middle finger?
I don't know. I had my eyes closed. But yeah, so Jason. I mean, that there's a bit. I don't know if it was late. It was a move. Let's put it that way. Okay, Demon R then now down into second place. His lap time previous was also a 2:03.5. So if he hadn't have made that error, he would have been a good half second further up the road. Have happened. On the pack cam, we've still got a lot going on. Jimmy still in 5th, Twilight now in 6th. But as Demon R overcooked his tyres, he's a little slippery.
We can see on the pack cam, SGP's in the land of nowhere.
Aye, he is, isn't he? He absolutely is. Okay, Demon R's last lap was a 2:04. So that was not a good lap. Conrod's got a little bit deep. He got a wheel on a curb. Demon R's got a... I was going to say, Demon R had a much better line through turn 1 then. As he closes...
Is he going for it? Is he waiting? Jason will need to defend hard, especially the hairpins as well.
Yeah. It's looking like Jason's trying to go in. He's going into the corners a little bit quicker, and he's compromising his mid corner and exit speed a little bit. Here comes Steve F1 as well. Oh, Bob.
Demon R will need to watch out for that. If he gets too much entangled fighting with Jason, Steve F1 could slip in there and take the position from Demon R, or even worse, the both of them at the same time. We've seen Conrad do it, and
absolutely.
Who else?
Jimmy did it on 2 cars, yeah. Okay, so down we go then, down towards James. Look on the pack cam, looking at Conrad, who's closing in on Jimmy. Okay, so through we got... Demon R's definitely got a tighter apex, hasn't he? He seems to be a little bit stronger in the mid-corners. Closing in now. Jason, I thought he was going sideways there. This was the section of track where Jason previously had been closing the gap, but it's Demon R's turn to really close the gap. On the pack cam, we've still got Jimmy ahead. This is fantastic stuff going on.
Jason's like in a... It's like a... not a hard defence, it's like a soft defence. What line he's taking through the corners compared to Demon R attacking the apexes, and Jason's just that a little bit wide, but kind of try to keep up his speed and be defensive at the same time. Is Demon R close enough to do anything into turn 1?
I don't think he is. Oh, I don't know, he's coming in quick. No, he's not. Again, though, using a lot more of the apex curb. He's got a run on Jason. Here we go there. Oh, I think he's just tagged the back of him. He might have hit the limiter side by side. Are you crazy, boys? Steve F1 will be going, come on, crash, 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 crash. Still side by side.
Is that how you sound? I'm German.
Yeah.
Crash.
Clash, clash, clash. They're still side by side. And here comes Steve F1. He's got to be thinking crash, crash, hasn't he?
He's got to be thinking, who do I follow?
Yeah. Okay, the long left-hander. Oh, both of them compromised. Jason's ahead.
Or is he like, is he sitting there just saying, I've got nothing to lose here, do I go for it, do I not, do I just leave these two to battle it out? And
Oh no, he's going for it. He's definitely going for it on the way down to James. Oh, side by side they go. This could compromise Stephen R's chance of winning the race, definitely. But Steve F1's got it. Stephen R's wide. He's sideways. Is that what you say to all the women? Twilight. I think, no, it's Jimmy, sorry. Behind Conrod's just gone wide at the long right-hander. So Stephen R having that big moment. Oh, Steve F1 took a lot of curb there. It's okay as long as you don't get it out of shape. Jason opens up a little bit of a gap now. These guys are about to be starting the last lap of the race. Steve F1, I think he just went a little bit deep mid-corner. Conrad is in 5th place. He's got wheels on the grass. I was going to say he got a bit of a gap, and he had, but he did wheels on the grass, but the 3 wide behind him.
Jimmy went wide there, that made it 3 wide, but I think Rich Blues has got through it, and I think Bob as well. Bob's got through. Now, do you think this is a fact?
Oh! Steve F1! Steve F1's gone a little bit sort of deep in the corner. Demon R's got the run on him. We saw him go side by side with Jason the previous lap through these corners. Now it's time to do it with Steve F1. Giving plenty of room. Jason will be loving this in his mirrors. Like, yeah, you crash, boys, you crash. Okay, Demon R has got the move done into the hairpin. Yeah. Oh, busy, down into turn 1 at the pack. Connor's just ahead. Jimmy's, sideways. Jason on the pack cam looking back at Demon R. I think he's got enough of a gap, you know. Twilight.
That Connor done to turn 1. It was like, do I go for the apex? Do I not? Is somebody going to come down that inside too fast? Is somebody going to miss a breaking point? You don't look too sure of taking that corner right at the apex. Conrad sideways. He's
trying to break away, isn't he? Twilight, a little tap on the back of Jimmy. Gary, a little tap on the back of... Yeah, he is. I wonder if something may have happened there that we've not seen. Oh, wow!
Gary gave
Twilight
a helping hand.
Yeah,
corner there.
Give him a little tank slapper. Looking at the pack cam. You know what?
Jimmy's defending like mad. Trying to keep Gary at bay.
I thought Jason was a little bit deep in the penultimate corner then, but he's okay. So Jason, unless he bottles it now, he is going to go on to take the victory in dramatic style. Demon R second, Steve F1 third. Who's this?
This is SGP. He's been in no man's land.
Yep.
It's because he washed his car.
It could be, yeah. SGP, 4th place. All on its own.
All the grip.
Yeah.
The grip off.
Gary. Gary got a little bit out of shape there, so can Conrad hold on? It's been a tough race for all of these guys in this pack. He's a little bit deep into the corner, manages to slow it down. Just needs a good exit now, and I think he's got it. Jimmy, he's giving it everything he's got. Gary and Rich Blues are side by side over the line, and I think Rich may have just took it. I think something must have happened to Autopolis because he has dropped all the way to the back. Oh, what a race that was!
Yep.
Wow. Oh, wow.
That was action from start till finish.
Yeah. What do you say about that? I mean, I'll tell you what is interesting. Okay, I don't know if interesting is the right word. What is definitely clear to see is on this boost setting, there does seem to be a separation, doesn't there? Obviously, in that race, there was 4 that were up at the front, and then there was the pack. There was a clear separation. On the stronger boost setting, obviously, that wouldn't be happening. But it is what it is. I mean, this race could have been very, very different if there'd been pit stops as well. Because someone like SGP, once he had his moment, the only way he'd be catching the front three is if he can go considerably faster than them, or they have crashes. If there was pit stops, he'd have been able to perhaps change a strategy, make use of a bit of the boost, and things like that.
Do you think he had a couple of incidents because of how far back he actually was? Because at the time that he done his first incident, there wasn't much of a separation from the pack and the leaders.
There may have been another moment, but I think more than anything, I wouldn't be surprised if once he'd dropped back after that first one, his kind of heart sank a bit, and well, I'm not catching you guys. There's no point over pushing, trying to when I know it's impossible, and then having worse situations. So I get a feeling he may have just cruised it to the end, stayed way ahead of the pack, who couldn't really close down on him. I mean, one thing I will say, this track, I mean, as entertaining as that has been for us to watch there, that track it can be a very fun track to drive. It can also be a very brutal track to race because it is relentless. The only real break you get is down the start finish. But as we saw in the pack, you don't get a break down the start finish because there's a lot going on. And given the nature of this track, there is so many opportunities of getting side by side, and it's a left corner into a right corner into a left corner. So you're always swapping who's on the inside, who's on the outside. And it can make it very, very difficult to make overtakes, to break away, and things like that. What I will say is, I mean, I don't think we saw anything too overly dramatically bad happening there. I think we saw a couple of people get the braking wrong into turn one. I think there may have only been one or two occasions where it collected people. But yeah, so nice to see mistakes appeared to be to a minimum, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, a fantastic, entertaining race with Jason showing just how much he has improved over the last, well, not just this championship. I mean, I don't think I have ever seen Jason hunt down and pass Demon R before.
That's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, the last couple of seasons it's been the other way around, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what
you've been in the pack and whatnot.
Well, yeah, true.
Lot.
Yeah, I've been having fun in the pack instead of getting stressed at the front. What I will say is though,
I bet you were stressed.
Yeah. Interestingly with Jason, I mean, sometimes we see drivers where we might say, you know what, I think they might need to calm down a little bit and they might need to brake a little bit earlier and things like that. And I think with Jason, if there was ever something I may have sort of wanted to say before, is perhaps maybe Jason could be a little more committed to making overtakes on occasion. He's tended to be he's always tended to be more sensible. He's like waiting for the right opportunity, and he's still doing that, but he definitely seems to be poking his nose in the mirrors. He's being proactive rather than waiting and seeing something happens, and when the opportunity comes to make the move, he's definitely been going for it. I mean, I don't know whether the move on Demon R was late. I might have to have a look before midnight on Friday night. No, I'm joking. One thing I will say is, I mean, you won't know this. I spoke to Demon R. Do it quite a lot actually, and he told me.
Does it sit on your shooter?
We share the same seat. Hang on, that sounds really dodgy. That does. But
You do the steering wheels and I do the pedals.
Yeah. Can I do the gear stick?
The gear stick. Yeah.
That's not the handbrake, but it is hard. Oh god. Right. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Right. I can genuinely say that on the move that Jason did, I did not look at the radar, the mirrors, or anything prior to the corner. I had no idea how far back Jason was. I had no idea where Jason was when I turned into the corner. My mind was elsewhere. So I've turned in for the corner and gone, holy shit, where have you come from? Now, it wasn't a, oh, what you? Yeah, it wasn't like, it was genuinely a, oh shit, have I just messed up here and turned in on you? Because, I mean, and that was 100% on me, in my respects, because now it'd be different. If I'd have looked in the mirrors, looked at the radar and thought, he's too far back, got to the turning point, turned in, and then he'd been there, and it'd be like, whoa, that I might have but because I have had zero spatial awareness on approach to the corner, I couldn't have told anyone how far back Jason was as we were heading up to that corner. I have no idea.
You couldn't tell if they'd run out of the long left-hander.
I couldn't have told you if it had been right up my gearbox or not. And I think, in a way, it's the definition of Jason caught me napping. And SGP actually has said something to me, which was, and I think it's a very good point, actually. Okay, so as we race against each other, we do get to learn how people drive on occasion. So, for example, all right, okay, joined us for a race last week. He unfortunately missed out on this race by a matter of minutes. He forgot about the GT update.
Did you not do a 10-minute delay for him?
He messaged in the chat saying, oh, bollocks, I forgot about the update. I replied saying, have you done the update now? In the hope of getting a reply saying, yeah, I've done it. And I'd be able to say, right, well, you can still get on. Right? Because he messaged us at about, 8:10? Or something like that. What? Right? So there wasn't can you do a 10-minute delay? I've got the update to do. Or I've got the update to do. Or
he might not be aware because he's not been around.
Yeah.
So I bet he must have went past his
bedtime.
Head.
Yeah, but so we didn't get a reply off him because I was asking him if he got the update done, because if he'd have said yes, it'd have been right. Well, jump in, we can set the grid, because qualifying, I think I crossed the line just as the qualifying flag went. So that was like 10 minutes and I crossed the line. So I was the first to finish my laps. And that's when I saw Bunsel's message. Now, I did check it at 8 o'clock. So saw it about 8:10. And from the point of me finishing my lap to the race starting would have been about 3-4 minutes. So I was hoping that he'd respond and say, "Yeah, I've got the update done," and then it would have been a case of we'll jump on and we'll set the grid manually because we've just finished quali, but he didn't get back to us. But yeah, to put it out there for any of the drivers, if you are ever caught out by there being an update, you can ask for a 10-minute delay.
Or if your stomach decides to turn at 8 o'clock.
Oh, is that what happened to you, was it?
No.
Oh, right. Oh,
I was just putting that in there.
Well, no, I tried that. I fucking went for a shit because I nearly shit myself and they started qualifying. I was there going, any chance you could wait? I need a shit. No. I was all right, thanks. And that was one of the longest tracks, right? Where I think it might have been a Le Mans, where you literally, if you're lucky, you can get an out lap and 2 hot laps. It
must have been that SGP.
Yeah, I got 1 hot lap. So what SGP said to me about Jason was... so I'll go on to Bunsel. I was going to use Bunsel as an example. Okay, so I know if Bunsel is closing up behind me in a race, chances are he's probably going to bump draft me down a straight. I also know that if I'm catching up to Bunsel, if I bump draft Bunsell, he perhaps won't defend me too hard in a corner, because he might think, well, Demon Eye's quicker, I'll benefit from following him. But I'll bump draft him up to the corner to get the speed. So if Bunsell's coming up behind you, me personally, I'll go, okay, I don't think he's really going to go for any risky moves. He might go for an overtake, but if we're anywhere near a straight, he's going to bump draft me, because he'll know it. He knows it'll benefit him too. Now, if I had SRI behind me in that situation, he ain't going to bump draft me for shit. And I know that because he didn't bump draft me at Le Mans early in this championship. So with Jason, SGP gave a very good bit of information about SGP, in that the way we're used to Jason racing is that you could very easily have him behind you and think, well, I know he's not going to go for anything risky here, and then you might forget that he's there. As bad as that sounds, you might just think, well, I know he's not going to go for any risky moves anywhere, and you just forget to look and check. And for Jason, that's actually a brilliant position to be in, because he has like it's almost like a magic overtake button he'll be able to press if he spots that someone may not be covering him off and defending him. I'm not saying he's got a golden ticket to try and overtake anybody he wants, but
the way he does it,
yeah,
it's a way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get you.
Yeah, very interesting. So it also go on.
What is it? He's just like one of these spiders that very underground, and they just sit and wait for something to come, and then they strike.
Yeah, I always like that fish.
What fish?
The really ugly fish with the dangly light. the bright light to attract, or everything goes, oh, look at that, isn't that pretty? Hump! And it's eaten. I'm not saying that Jason is an ugly fish. He's not. He's a beautiful Swedish blonde. Okay.
Anglerfish.
That's the one, yeah, an anglerfish. Although, as Twilight it would be known, it's a danglerfish. Okay.
What's this breaking news? I'm still waiting.
Well, breaking news. Another reason for a 10-minute delay is if you do have a relationship breakup and you need a few minutes. I broke up with a girl recently because she wouldn't stop counting. I wonder what she's up to now.
I don't know.
I don't either. Okay, breaking news. Turns out race 7 of this championship was supposed to be at Daytona.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, okay. No one... Nothing. Right, no one knew. SGP realised at, I don't know, 7:30, as we were in the practice lobby for half an hour, realised and admitted it openly, said, guys, I've made a mistake. I've just checked the track list, and this race should have been Daytona. And everyone, obviously, we're giving him loads of abuse. Right. And so, why have you got that wrong? Blah, blah. Now, we don't know exactly how he got it wrong, but the sequence of the sequence of events are after the race. Obviously, we then go and do a 3-lap race at the next track. So, if drivers want the settings or want to know what track it is, they get to see it. And last week, SGP loaded up the wrong track. He loaded up the track we've just raced at. Instead of Daytona. He didn't even realise he'd done it wrong last week, so that's what happened. Now, obviously, there was no way we were going to go at 7:30. Right, well, let's put Daytona, because no one's been driving it. No one would have known, but SGP owned up to it, and now I've ousted him. Some people did say, though, that I should do a 2-hour deep dive into how he fucked it up. I should go around his house and do a video or evidence of, like, here's his notepad with all his race information and stuff like that. Do a deep dive on it. but I don't want to walk in on him and Claire having sex like his daughter did the other day, and she doesn't know about it. So she's still in denial. But yeah, so the next race is going to be at Daytona. What should have been race 7, but it is going to be race 8. So apologies to everybody, but no one would have known anyway if SGP hadn't have admitted his mistake. And fair play to him, because that's one of the things. If you make a mistake, you've got kids. If one of your kids makes a mistake and they own up to it and go, "Daddy, I've made a mistake. I'm pregnant." Okay, you're probably not going to forgive him for that. But it's good, "Daddy, I'm really sorry, but I've dropped your PlayStation 5 and it's broken." What are you going to do?
Sorry, say that again.
If one of your kids comes up to you and goes, "Daddy, I'm really sorry," well, not with an English accent, obviously, but, "Daddy, I'm really sorry, but I dropped your PlayStation. It's not working anymore." By the way, Ray's kids are like in the 50s.
Right.
So, what would you do?
But that's like they're carrying it, because it's it's put a place that they can't get their fingers on it.
Okay, it's a hypothetical situation. They have admitted to their... Right, okay, so that's one scenario. The other scenario is you go up to your kid and you go, "Hey, you wee laddie, you dropped my PlayStation and you fucking broke it." And the little boy goes, "I didn't, Daddy. I didn't go anywhere near it." But you've got video evidence of them climbing up your shelves, getting to the PlayStation and dropping it and breaking it, putting it back, and they're denying it. And you got the video evidence, and they're going, "But it wasn't me, Daddy." Which is a better scenario? Obviously, neither's great. Your PlayStation's dead. But one, you've got a child that's going, "I'm really sorry, Daddy. I've made a mistake. I've broke it." And another one going, "It wasn't me. I don't care what your video says. It wasn't me."
That's still...
Dig a hole in the garden.
No, it's still... they'll probably lose their tech.
Well, yeah. But it would be better if the story is, though, it is better if someone admits their mistake, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if they'll lose their tech, but if they've admitted to it, they might lose it for a week. If they haven't admitted to it, they might lose it for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what SGP's punishment will be. Perhaps losing his tech. Claire, yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah, we've got only a couple of the drivers done the hashtag wings.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Right. Now, I don't know whether... You want to know something quite funny about this, actually? I didn't even know that you'd said about hashtag wings until I was watching the actual live stream of the commentary back. At the time, I didn't know you'd said about hashtag wings. Obviously, we were discussing it and we had the conversation, but I didn't even know you'd said hashtag wings drivers commented. So considering that I was part of the conversation and didn't even know you'd said it, there is a chance that others may not have heard you say it either. I have wondered whether I collar someone to do an example of it, so we can go, right, guys, this is what we're on about, hashtag wings. But what I will say, I do think we've seen some differences of behaviours of drivers in this race. I could be wrong, but it did look like there was a bit less like sort of trying to tuck in behind and clip in and what have you. But like I said, I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see if there's been any reports coming in. Okay, I'm wondering if there's anything else that we need to mention. Yes, the information for the next championship will be decided soon. We still haven't looked at anything. We haven't looked at what tyres, what wear, what fuel. So for anyone thinking, oh, the bet they're getting loads of practice, blah blah. Well, no, we're not. We just have not gone on to it. We should hopefully be looking at that this weekend. So information on that should be coming out very very soon. Also,
look at the open lobbies. We aren't. I think we touched that car once.
Yeah,
we've all been racing all different cars, so we've not really done anything with it, to be honest.
It's a good point you said, because I do want to quickly discuss something, right? Okay, so in the open lobbies that we are actively doing at the moment to see if we can find some new drivers, and there are some potentials, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so in the open lobbies, none of us have been using the Aston Martin, and some people might say, well, why not? If it's such a good car, why are you not using it? Okay, so I'm going to give a bit of information out here, and people may disagree, they may agree, but bear this in mind.
It's fucking shite.
Yeah, well, okay. In battle, compared to some of the other Group 3 cars, the Aston Martin is not competitive. And it's not the only one. So, for example, there's a Group 3 Mercedes AMG 20, which is so OP, it's unreal. There's... yes, it is. BMW is considerably faster on the straight. The McLaren has so much grip, it's amazing. But when it comes to league racing, it's too easy to drive. It's not an exciting car to drive, and the Mercedes isn't really...
The Mercedes, I would say, is exciting to drive, but it wasn't what we were looking for. At this point in time.
Yeah.
Remember?
One of the things that we obviously wanted was a wow factor from the next championship car. And the Aston Martin does give that wow factor. See, this is the Aston Martin versus some of the other Group 3 cars is not very competitive. But as I said, there's the Nissan GTR Group 3. There's no point even getting in that in battle against the other cars. It just can't compete. I'm trying to think of some of the others. Well, there's quite a few. There's a Ferrari. They just simply can't. They are not quick enough. They're not good enough. They haven't got the grip, or they can't battle directly against these other cars. But you put them in a race against themselves, and now you've got an interesting situation. And that's the thing with the Aston Martin. I didn't find anybody to jump in the Aston Martin and go, you know what, I don't like the sound of that. If you don't hear that fire up and drive it and go, wow, okay, yeah, I get what you're on about, you know instantly you're in a race car. And it doesn't handle like it's on rails. You have to drive it.
Yeah, we don't want one. Well, we've not confirmed what tyres yet, but with the open lobbies, we've been using the soft tyres, and the Mercedes is a good car, but there's not much of a risk driving it, and put that in all Mercedes championship. Maybe in the future, but if you were to have the Mercedes, I don't think there'd be much of a difference. It would be what the drivers would find the little bits of a difference that would make them win the race or the championship. Like with the Aston Martin, where you're going to have to watch how you're driving it and everything. It gives it more of you're having. I don't know if I've worded this right. You're having to watch how you drive it to win the race in the championship. Where the Mercedes, it's looking for just a little something that nobody else knows to give you the...
Yeah, whether that be, it could be when to change gear, or it could, I mean, I, in a way, would explain or describe the McLaren, for example. The McLaren is a fantastic car to drive, especially on the soft tyres, because it is absolutely planted. But I'd kind of describe it as a fire and forget car. It's like a homing missile. It has got so much grip. Even Jimmy couldn't get it sideways. But with the Aston Martin, if you drive it wrong, you are going to be sideways. And I mean, that's one of the things. We've gone for the wow factor, but you've actually got to actively drive the car. And that's the thing. Sometimes cars can be too easy to drive. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think everyone would love to race a car that's planted, for example. So, like, if we were to go to LMP1s, they are planted. And with those, you just go, yeah, these are planted, and we'll go with that. But with what we wanted for this next championship, yeah, bit of spice and all things nice. Right, anything else you want to touch on, Ray?
No, I need to, I don't think.
Okay.
Remember it's SGP, remember it's Daytona.
Yep, Daytona road course, just so everybody knows. Also, if you haven't seen it, interesting deep dive from last week's race on the YouTube channel. Feel free to check that out. But for now, though, we're going to say thank you, Ray, for joining us on commentary.
Thank you very much for having us. And thanks again to drivers. Great race. And to those working behind the scenes as well. Absolutely.
Okay, right. Time to check out the confirmed race result and the championship standings.
Ta-ta.
So, taking the victory, the maximum 20 points is Jason. In second place, it's Demon R on 17. Steve F1 in third on 15 points, and then SGP in fourth on 13. Conrad finished in fifth on 12, just ahead of Jimmy in sixth on 11 points. Bob in seventh on 10 points. Rich Blues in eighth on 9 points. Then we've got Gary ninth on 8. Twilight 10th on 7. And Art Pal 11th place on 6 points. Okay, no report, so let's take a look at what that's done to the standings. Jason then opens that gap up. 122 points he's on now, 22 ahead of Demon R, who now sits in second place all on his own on 100 points. He's 4 ahead of SGP, who's in third place. Then we've got a little bit of a gap down to Steve F1 in fourth, who's only 5 ahead of Conrad, who's in fifth place. Twilight, Rich Blues tied in 6th place, both on 55 points. Good position for them. They're 4 ahead of Jimmy, who's in 8th place on 51. He's 2 points ahead of SRI and Art Pal, who are tied for 9th on 49 points each. And they are only 1 point ahead of Formula Gary, who's in 11th place. Bob is in 12th on 39 points. And then we've got Dave down in 13th on 19 points. Bonso in 14th on 10. Well, it's been an exciting, action-packed race once again in the DGT League. Now there's 2 more races to go, and just to confirm, the next race is at Daytona Road Circuit. And last time we raced there, we did have a bit of an issue with track limits, but with the automatic penalties on now, that is going to take care of that, we believe. So that's one of the reasons why we're using this track in this championship with the penalties on. See how it goes. So good luck, everybody, and hopefully we can have a fantastic end to the championship. For Jason, though, if he outscores Demon R or SGP, he wins. That's it. He'll be champion. Unless at the last race he doesn't win and gets so many penalties that he scores 0 points, and somehow I can't see that happening to Jason. It's not very often he'd do something that drastic. He's had a brilliant season though, and good luck to him in the last couple of races to see if he can take his first championship in the Dynamic GT League. Right, that's all for this evening. Thanks for listening, watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and merch is available in the link in the description if you're interested. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.